Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? What's your next premiere going to be, Miss Bambi? Good morning, Miss Bambi. Good morning, Black Hat Music. Good morning, Watcher Love. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Michelle. How y'all doing this morning? Also, I'll say this right here. Sometimes people don't understand, but silence is golden. Just because you're quiet about something, it's because you're doing something smarter. And I did like your premiere this morning. I did like your premiere this morning, Miss Baby. Because sometimes you don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing. Hey, happy good morning. But yeah, so if you see me be quiet, realize there's a very good reason why. It's because sometimes you don't tell. You know what I'm saying? You're smarter than that. You allow people basically, you know that old adage is if you give somebody the rope, that's basically what you do. If you're smart about things, sometimes you have to give people the rope. Sometimes you have to give them enough leeway to do those things. Good morning, racing. Y'all got any plans for this beautiful Easter Sunday and this beautiful weekend? Also, I am being a good little cheering this week because it is Holy Week. That's 100%, Miss Bambi. Strategical silence. Oh, you got a birthday party? Oh yeah, the grandbaby. The grandbaby. Hey, Lady Red. It's the grandbaby's birthday party. Happy birthdays. Ain't it the grandbaby? Or am I confused? Did I get somebody mixed up with somebody else? I need to get smacked upside the head sometime. Who was we talking to yesterday that had a had a children's birthday? Who was it? I'm trying to y'all know I ain't got the best memory in the world. My ADHD is just crazy sometimes. Sometimes I need to be smacked upside the head real good. Just saying. Okay, I am correct. I was making sure I got the right person because how many different things happen on a daily bit. Okay, I was right then. Okay, see, I second guess myself all the time. I need to stop doing that. I second guess my own memory too. I don't know if y'all do that shit, but I do that. Um, well, my son is too old for eggs and shit. I still buy him candy every year, right? I don't have any grands yet, and I hope to not have any for a moment. I don't want none right away kind of situation. But I will say that we are going out to eat to a fancy restaurant. We're gonna go get us some good food. Um, so that's one thing we're gonna do as a family. And then I guess just chill. You know what I'm saying? Because my kid's a little too old to be doing Easter egg hunts. You know, I kind of do miss. That's facts, Watcher. People might want to consider them plastic eggs, baby, because them real ones, woo, they outrageous in price. Could you imagine if you were doing a church thing and you were having to dye them eggs and having to boil all them? And I'm gonna say this. Let me ask this question, have y'all? Did y'all really eat the boiled eggs or did y'all see some of us, I don't know about y'all, but we gave away the eggs to our parents to use in like egg salad and shit like that because there's no way that we could eat all those regular eggs at one time and they would go bad. I don't know. Did y'all do that shit? I know that we did that down here. It's still snowing where you're at, racing. Oh my god. I can't do snow like that. That's why I live down south. I'm just not into the cold like that. Mm-mm. Yeah, if you went and looked at a thing of the price of eggs, Black Hat Music, have you looked at just for 12 eggs how much it costs? Could you imagine getting a case of eggs to dime? Like I'm telling you, it had to have been a thing because there's no way us little kids could have ate all them boiled eggs before they weren't. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no way. If y'all went to the Easter egg hunts and y'all got like 20 of the regular eggs, and then you had to, get the plastic ones, but you had like 20 or 30 of the boiled eggs. Ain't no way us little big kids could eat all them eggs at once. Now I ate one or two of them. Don't get me wrong, but oh man, it's 28 degrees, Racing. I'm gonna pray for you for real. Yeah, and then you got to think about everybody in the house had egg gas, and it was like we were getting gassed out of the situation. It was like the house was a war zone after Easter. Also, I did want to do something because Easter is coming up. Love and peace, right? And in the Bible, if you're a Christian. Now, if you're not a Christian, just give me just a minute, and then we can talk about something else. Y'all know I don't judge. Judge ye not be judged. I wanted to you know, say one of my you know one of my favorite Bible verses this morning for y'all. 1 Corinthians 13, the way of love. If I speak in tongues of men and angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong of a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith, so as to remove mountains, but not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all I have, and if I deliver up my body to be burned, but not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable and resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoings, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. As for prophecies, they will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when the perfect comes, the partiality will pass away. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways. For now we see in the mirror dimly, but the face to face. Now I know in part that I shall know fully, even as I have been fully known. So now faith, hope, and love abide, these three, but the greatest of these is love. And I choose to believe that my God is love. That's what I choose to believe. I choose to believe that my God loves all and that his heart is full of love. And I choose to be of Christ's love and love others as if they love me. That's just me. I just had to say my part. That is actually one of my favorite Bible verses. And some people want to use God against others, and that is no. Do not weaponize God. Just say you don't like somebody. Just say you don't like them, right? But God's going to love all. Love is the greatest commandment. That is true, Ray. God loves all, no matter what you think or no matter what you say. And I believe, and this is just my belief, okay, that if I show Christ's love through me, I might lead others back to him, which is supposed to be our ultimate goal as a Christian, right? So I show through me how God loves. He loves you as you are and as you come. And when we all die, right, and we go on to the glory, I'm not going to be judged by anybody else's book of life. I'm going to be judged by my book of life and what I do in this lifetime. Not what you do in this lifetime, what I do. So why can't I love thy brother even if I believe they're doing wrong? Even if I believe that something ain't right, why can't I love them through it all? So no matter, I do not judge others because it's not my right to. Judge ye and ye not be judged. Ye without sin cast the first stone. And guess what? We're born into sin. There was only one perfect human that ever walked this earth, and that was Jesus Christ himself. And we're supposed to try to be that good. We will always falter. We will always fall. So we pick ourselves back up. We ask God for forgiveness and we move forward. That's what we do. Now that's my choice. That's my thing. And I just had to give a little sermon before Easter Sunday, because we all know that this Sunday for us that are Christian, that God gave his only begotten son, his son, so that we may have eternal life. He gave up his greatest gift to the world. And Jesus went through so much suffering for us so that we could ask for forgiveness. So on this Easter Sunday, if you did something evil and you know you did it, ask God for forgiveness, because he forgives all. And sometimes I fall short of God's glory and I have to ask for forgiveness, child. I have to admit when I do wrong and go, Jesus, see what had happened was, in retrospect, I'm sorry, I did this. And, we have us a little conversation. That's what prayer is all about. Prayer is about talking to Jesus, talking to God as if they're your homie. Thank them today and all days for every single thing that he has given you. Don't forget to be thankful. Don't forget that you woke up this morning and there's breath in your body when some people don't have that. Don't forget you're able to wake up and love on your loved ones that are around you when there's so many people with hate in their heart that don't have that. They don't have a family. They don't have that closeness. They don't have a husband or a wife that truly loves them. That is true, watcher. I would rather ask for forgiveness 1,000,000 times than to deny that I do anything wrong, because we all do wrong. Ain't none of us perfect. Ain't none of us perfect. You know what I'm saying? We all fall short. But I will stand in my ish if I do something wrong, and I'm going to admit to it. I'm like, yup, I straight up did that shit. Yes, I did. And if I fall short of his glory, I'm going to ask God for forgiveness, because I know I did it. I'm like, Jesus, we need to have a moment, because I got to tell you what I did. And then, Jesus forgives me, but sometimes he be like, Charlie, you bad. You know you're not supposed to do that. Yes, even a bad thought and thinking and wishing ill will on others is a sin. That is absolutely true, Michelle. And we all fall, short of that sometimes, because there are bad people out in this world, right? There are bad people out in this world. And sometimes we, as humans, like, I just wish that motherfucker would fall off a bridge or some shit. That's an ill will. And you got to apologize for that shit, because you're not supposed to think that, right? You're not supposed to do those things. As a Christian. So you can't also, you're not, as a Christian, you are not supposed to condemn anybody else to hell. That's not your right to do so. The only person that has that right is God. I can't tell anybody in this room where you're going to go when that time comes, right? I can't tell you where you're going to go. I don't know. I don't know if you've made it right with Jesus in your heart. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what your personal relationship is, right? But I can't tell you where you're going to go when you go to hell, or you're going to go to heaven. Some people, I hope they go, and that's evil of me, and I have to apologize to God. Sometimes we don't forgive a person for them. We forgive a person for ourselves. Sometimes it's not for them. Forgiveness is not for the other person at all times. Sometimes forgiveness is so that we can move on and move forward and move away from their evil. Because I'm going to say this, I do believe that karma is a bitch for evil people, and it will come back for them, because what you put in this world comes back to you. And that is true, Ray. Some people don't believe in heaven or hell. Some people's belief systems are different. And, here's the thing. I myself don't judge others based on their beliefs, because it's not You know, it's just not my right to. Like, I'm not going to judge you based on it. I'm going to love you regardless. You know what I'm saying? That's true, Miss Shell. If you open your heart, you will receive. You just got to go ask. And I do believe, now I'm gonna say this. This may be an unpopular opinion. I do believe some of the evilest people on earth that we know of can. Hey, Jessica Lynn. Good morning. I believe if they try to change and really mean it, not just say I'm going to change and ask forgiveness and change their behaviors, they can be saved, right? But I believe those that never ask shall not receive. Those who don't change. Like, here's the thing. I'll say this too. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and again, and constantly seek forgiveness as if it's going to, you got to change that behavior kind of situation, you know? That's what I'm saying, Michelle. That, sometimes I'll say this, if a person, an evil person, right, and you know who I'm talking about, really truly decided to change as a human being and really truly stop that behavior and really truly meant it in their heart of hearts to ask God to forgiveness and change and did better, they could be forgiven. Anybody is not past the point of no forgiveness from Jesus or God. I don't care if I like you, I don't like you, I don't care what you've done. If you truly mean it in your heart of heart, I believe all can be forgiven by God. I'm not saying it could be forgiven by people, right? People will never forget. I'm saying by God himself. God forgives all if you choose to change your behavior and change what you're doing, right? But I do also, I'm with you, Michelle. I love everybody, right? I don't care what your religious beliefs are. I don't care what your sexuality is. I don't care what your creed, your nationality. I don't care none of that. I care about if you're a good person to me. If you're good to me, I'm going to be good to you. If you're a shit person to me, I'm going to be a shit person to you. Because I'm going to pull it back. Don't make me go Old Testament and say an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Don't make me do it. I will go Old Testament on a bitch. I will. But technically speaking, if you believe in Jesus, you're not supposed to necessarily go by the Old Testament, but you are supposed to remember the Old Testament because there are rules in it that obviously, like the 10 Commandments, right? Thou shalt not kill. Everybody knows that. That's not a stupid. Thou shalt honor thy mother and father. And here's the thing, I know people who have bad parents and they're not good people. They don't deserve the title of mother and father. So therefore, they're not the ones you honor. It's the one that come into your life that is a mother and a father to you. The ones that are good parents to you. You are supposed to honor them because they did that. That's true, Lady Red, because Jesus came and yeah, you can't forget the Old Testament, but you're not supposed to live by the Old Testament, if that makes sense, because Jesus did came and he fulfilled it, right? But the 10 Commandments, they were fulfilled by Christ's crucifixion. That is true. But it's kind of like if we had to equate it to anything, right? Think about history, right? In history, we're supposed to remember the past, right? So we don't repeat it in the future. But we don't live in history. We don't live in those times, right? That's true. We may be in heaven with some people we don't like, Michelle, but this is a big old place, so we can go on about our business. You know what I'm saying? We can walk home and be like, man, how'd you even get up in here? But anyway, man, Jesus, I'm sorry about that. There I go again. That is true. See, it's kind of like if you look in the history books, we are supposed to remember history, not repeat it. Right? It's the same thing with the Old Testament. It's like a history, right? It's a lesson. We're supposed to remember it so that we don't repeat. Yes, he did say that. Jesus also said, be forgiven and go forward and sin no more. So we're still commanded to not sin. to sin, not sin. Yep. So here's the thing: you can get forgiveness for your sins, but you're not supposed to continue to take that same sin and do it over and over and over and over and over and over again, because that shows you ain't really changed. Sometimes we have to change our behavior. You know what I'm saying? And for some people, I will say this: they don't and will not change, and you can tell it. Now, I'm not saying, you know, I'm saying that you could just see the patterns, right? Now, if they decide to and they surprise you, that's one of the most amazing things. Hey, the Great White Phantom. In the book of Ezekiel, it says that soul that sinneth shall surely die. That is exactly true. The soul that sinneth shall surely die. And I will say that, you know, we all were born into sin. We just have to try to do and we're not going to be perfect. And we are going to sin occasionally. I will say that. We just have to know that when we do, um, we have to ask for that forgiveness. We have to change that behavior because we're going to fall. You know what I'm saying? We're going to fall. We're not perfect. Jesus doesn't expect us, and God doesn't expect us to be perfect. We are only human. You know what I'm saying? With human emotions. But I like that Great White Phantom. Not necessarily a physical death so much as a spiritual. That is very true. I am a peaceful woman until I get angry, and then there are some things, people, and actions makes me angry, and I will not apologize for them. Hey, Miss Tracy, Miss American Honey. Yeah, I'm gonna say this right. I'm a very peaceful person until you tick me off, and then when I am mad, my petty side comes out, and sometimes I'm petty till the end, and I know that I have to do better. You know what I'm saying? And see, that's why, and Lady Red is right. This is why we do die a physical death because of sin. Without sin, we would have been eternal. Um, you know, when that time comes, right? We don't know what's waiting on the other side. We just have to have faith. And faith and hope are some of the strongest things in this universe. Even when you're at your lowest of low, right? That faith can pull you through. That hope can pull you through. Faith and hope are some of the strongest things in America. If you take away a person's hope, they have nothing left. Even those, though, that were hanging up beside Jesus still had the ability to ask for forgiveness. And they had done some of the most heinous things, like murder. They had literally taken another's life, but they still had the ability to ask for forgiveness. Because why? God is love. He knows that sometimes we make mistakes and we, um well, you hug those grandbabies for me, Miss Shell. Um, we're gonna falter. We're not gonna be always perfect, right? But when we do falter, and we know we faltered, we have to ask for that forgiveness and change our behavior. That's all we can do because we're gonna fall. We're gonna make mistakes. Just as a child, we made mistakes. That is true, the Great White Phantom. Fear not, for on this day you shall be with me in heaven. That is what he said to the man that was sitting beside him who asked for forgiveness. All you have to do is ask for that forgiveness, and baby, it will be yours. Yep, Lady Red said it too. Surely today you will be with me in paradise. Jesus, that's right. That's right. Jesus will never leave us or forsake us. It's unconditional love that he has for us, just as we have for our children. Think about if you have a child in your life, think about the first time you laid eyes on that child and the amount of love that came through you at that moment and how much just unconditionally you love that child. That's the way God loves us. That's the way God loves us. The unconditional love that he has for us, We may make mistakes, we may falter, we may do bad things, but if you just come to him with a clear heart and a true conscience and be real about it, yep. Yep. I was reading that passage earlier, the Great White Phantom. When I was a child, I spoke and acted as thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. That is true. That is true. I was reading that Bible verse earlier. I really was. I was reading it earlier. I don't know how you read my mind on that one. I was speaking that verse earlier. I was reading it. I just had to do a little preaching this morning. Yep, Proverbs, Ray. Mm-hmm. See, Ray be knowing. I literally this morning wanted to give a little word because we all know for us that are Christian what Sunday means to us. When technically, we celebrate it this weekend, but historically, I don't know if that's factual, because a lot of things in timelines are a little messed up. But we know what it means to us, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. 61:1. Let's look that up. Let's look that up because make sure I remember. Because okay, I will. I'll make sure I do. Let me get over here and Isaiah 61:1. Isaiah 61:1. Okay. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness from the prisoners. Oh, I love that one. That is very true. That is a good one. That was a good one. The Great White Phantom. It says, "The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners." Have a good day, Miss Ray. Have a good day, Miss Ray, and be careful out there. Let's read the full chapter, y'all. We're going to read the full chapter, okay? Not just the one part. Let me get my voice on, y'all. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom from the captives and release from darkness from the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all whom mourn and provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow upon them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and garment of praise instead of spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of his splendor. They will rebuild the ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated. They will renew the ruined cities that have been devastated for generations. Strangers will shepherd your flocks. Foreigners will work your fields and vineyards, and you will be called priests of the Lord. You will be named minister of our God. You will feed on the wealth of nations, and in the riches you will boast. Instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion, and instead of disgrace, you will rejoice in your inheritance. And so you will inherit a double portion in your land, and everlasting joy will be yours. For I, the Lord, love justice. I hate robbery and wrongdoing. In faithfulness, I will reward my people and make an everlasting covenant with them. Their descendants will be known among the nations, and their offspring among the peoples. All who see them will acknowledge that they are the people the Lord has blessed. I delight greatly in the Lord. My soul rejoices in God, for he has clothed me with garments of salvation and arrayed me in the robe of his righteousness. As bridegroom adorns his head like a priest, and as a bride adorns herself with her jewels. For as the soul makes the sprout come up, and a garden causes seeds to grow, so the sovereign Lord will make me righteous and praise spring up before all nations. I had to read the whole thing. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I am very hoping that, through showing Christ's love and through showing that God loves all, that others will be led back to Him. Because I know a lot of people were led away. Were led away from God because of, others or being forced or all these different things that cause them to turn their face from God. And if I could just show through me that you can be an amazing person and love God and still love others, that He's, you know, His love and His mercy and His amazingness is worth them turning to, that's all that I wish upon. Because sometimes we have to show through us Christ's love and how much He unconditionally loves others. God is good, y'all, all the time. God is great all the time. And the church say, and all the time, God is great. Yes. I'm going to tell you something. Through anytime you're going through anything in your life, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent, just literally, I want you to open your Bible, close your eyes, and take your finger, right? And run it through that book. Run it through that book and find. I'm telling you, when something's weighing on your heart, for some reason, you're going to turn right to the passage that you need to be reading to give you strength. I don't know how it works. I don't know. But trust me, it does every single time I'm having something going. Hey, Miss Stoney, Jeremiah chapter 1 is for you. The great wife of son. Let's see what Jeremiah says for Lady Red. Let's see what Jeremiah says. Let's see. And you wanted passage 1. Okay, chapter 1. Jeremiah chapter 1. We're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 1. Okay. We're going to read Jeremiah chapter 1. The word of Jeremiah, son of Hilkiah, one of the priests at Anath, in the territory of Benjamin. The word of the Lord came to him in the 13th year of the region of Josiah, son of Ammon, king of Judah. And though the reign of Jehoiakim, son of Josiah, king of Judah, down to the 5th month of the 11th year of Zedekiah, son of Josiah, king of Judah, when the people of Jerusalem went into exile. The call of Jeremiah. The word of the Lord came to me, saying, Before I formed you in the womb, I knew. Before I knew you, before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Alas, sovereign Lord, I said, I do not know how to speak. I am too young. But the Lord said to me, Do not say, I am too young. You must go to everyone I send you to and say whatever I command you. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you and will rescue you, declares the Lord. Then the Lord reached out his hand and touched my mouth and said to me, I have put my words in your mouth. See, today I appoint you over nations and kingdoms to uproot and tear down, to destroy and overthrow, to build and to plant. The word of the Lord came to me. What do you see, Jeremiah? I see the branch of an almond tree, I replied. The Lord said to me, You have seen correctly, for I am watching to see that my word is fulfilled. The word of the Lord came to me again. What do you see? I see a pot that is boiling, I answered. It is tilting toward us from the north. The Lord said to me, From the north disaster will be poured onto all who lived in the land. I am about to summon all the peoples of the northern kingdom, declares the Lord. Their kings will come and set up their thrones in the entrance of the gates of Jerusalem. They will come again, all her surrounding walls, and against all the towns of Judah. I will pronounce my judgments on my people because of their wickedness is forsaking me, in burning incense to other gods, and in worshiping with their hands have made. Get yourself ready. Stand up and say to them, Whatever I command you, do not be terrified by them, or I will terrify you before them. Today I have made you fortified city, an iron pillar, and a bronze wall to stand against the whole land, against the kings of Judah, its official, its priests, and the people of the land. They will fight against you, but will not overcome you, for I am with you and will rescue you, declares the Lord. That's a powerful word. Hey, Miss Crystal Ann. Good morning. I gotta look at your new picture, Miss Shell. I love your new stuff that you're doing. Uh, because I'm like I can't. You make me laugh so hard. I just cannot. Oh no, you got that. You got that. I just went I just went and got my face done. I love it though. It's actually cute. How'd you do that? Hold on. No, you just got your makeup done. You're looking good as shit in that picture. You got that I want to punch you in the face look right now. That like I know I'm cute and I'm still gonna punch you. Okay, sorry. You know we was just talking about God and I'm talking about punching somebody in the face. You look like you just like you ready to just like no. Oh really? Lady Red, I'm gonna have to go over there and look right quick. Hold on. Let me go over here and look at your go to channel. And is it okay if I play that, Lady Red? Um, or no? Because I just want to make sure. Like I always ask for permission. Hey, Fumble. I just wanted to make sure I never do that without permission because you know that's just wrong to play somebody else's stuff without asking. I always try to ask first. Okay, let's we're gonna show y'all. This is what Lady Red put together. If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy, oh, and can fathom all mysteries and knowledge. If I have a faith that can move mountains, oh, but do not have love, oh, I am nothing. I am nothing. I am nothing. Oh. If I give all I possess to the poor, give over my body to hardship, oh, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Oh, I gain nothing. Oh, I gain nothing. That is absolutely gorgeous, Miss Lady Red. Oh, I love that. I would totally put that as my intro music every day. I swear to God. I love it so much. Also, hey, Mr. Fumble, the South Memphis show. What's up? Hey, baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark. How you doing, baby shark? Yeah, I can't be showing Miss Shell's community post. I hope that you have a great day, the Great White Phantom. I hope that God blesses you in all ways, which I know He does. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I think it is gorgeous. Miss Lady Red, I think you did an amazing job with that. It is absolutely beautiful. And I think that others should see it because you did an amazing job on that. In fact, I'm going to share this. I'm going to create a post and I'm going to put Lady Red made this beautiful oh, post. And y'all look at my misspelling. Y'all look at my misspelling. I got to use my make it Huggies. And I got to put my Huggies on there. And I'm also going to drop the link to her channel. Hey, Happy Life. I'm also going to drop it in my comment section so that if anybody wants to go over there and watch it, it's pretty. You have a good day on your first day vacation, girl, boy and girl. Y'all have fun. Baby Shark, have fun on your vacation. Tell everybody I said hi. I will say that if you did not see Harlow's show yesterday, somebody that we know went over there and was in the back chat talking all kind of shit, and it was really crazy. They didn't repeat everything that was said in the back chat. I didn't see it obviously, but somebody was threatening people in the back chat yesterday. Um, so we all know who that person is. They were threatening people in the back chat and saying all kinds of stuff. And I think there's going to be a war there. Just saying. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like it. Sounds like it, Miss Watcher. Sounds like it. I was over there just chilling. I'd be chilling. I was playing video games yesterday. Michelle, I had to catch your replay. It was Harlow. Her name is Harlow. Miss Harlow's channel. Um, It is true. It is true, K fam. But here's the thing. Let me tell you something. Have fun on your vacation and know that they're gonna be okay. And we also need to say a prayer uh for Miss Emily. Her child is in the NICU and she's her child and her and there's a lot of health issues there. So we need to send a prayer for Miss Emily. If everybody could just say a little prayer, keep her family and herself in your prayers. Make sure because prayers work. I'm gonna say this right now. Keep Miss Crystal Ann and your prayers and her family and her mother in your prayers. Keep CFM Queen in your prayers. Make sure that we pray each other up because sometimes through prayer a lot of us are saved. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. Hey, D him. Um, oh, what happened was Christopher W is no, I don't know. His channels are gone. He's been in my now. I will say, Christopher W has, or we were told that he has congestive heart failure and a lot of health conditions. So please keep him in your prayers. I hope he's okay. Now, he has done this before, the Great White Phantom. He has hid his channels and disappeared for a little while. And he's taking breaks. Hopefully he's okay and nothing's wrong with him. So Christopher W, if you hear this out in the universe, come over here and let us know you're okay. People want to know you're okay. You know, people actually do care in this universe. Although some people don't care, some people do. So just and also K-Fam just said that the baby has to have major surgery on Monday. Wishing I could be there for him. She told me don't cancel my vacay and enjoy. So say a prayer for that baby. And all the things, we're gonna say prayers for all those people. Also, I'm praying that I know that Miss Justice stepped away from the YouTube just for a little while. For her own mental health, she's taking a break, right? And family, lots going on with her family. We're going to say a prayer for her father. He did go through surgery. I'm not sure what the outcome of that is yet. So we need to say a prayer for Miss Justice and her family, and anybody else who is going through something serious. And we need to say a prayer for like I know this is going to sound messed up in some ways, but for those evil people, we're going to pray that they have a change of heart and stop being so evil. You know what I'm saying? And change their behavior. But I doubt it's going to work, but I'm still going to try. I'm still going to try to pray that they change, but I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? I very much so doubt it. They've showed they don't do that. And I do create real content on my page and has since the beginning of my channel. I didn't cover that person all the time and refuse to because I'm not going to mess up my mental health for a crazy motherfucker. But yeah, only God can do it, and it's possible. We're going to pray that Jesus changes their heart, but I doubt it. I'd very much so doubt. But I'm going to still pray. I'm going to pray for you. Bless your little heart. I'm going to pray for him. Bless his little heart. If y'all caught that. But yeah, but in truth and actuality, for all those who are going through something right now, whether you want to tell me or not, whether you want to speak it out loud or not, right? Because you're going through something. You may not want others to know about what you're going through, right? I'm going to keep you in my prayers. I'm going to keep you, prayed up. Because when I care about you, I really care about you. I'm telling you, Lady Red, sometimes when you just need to pray that a person changes for the better. Because sometimes we got bad people who do bad things and they need to be prayed upon. And sometimes I'm going to pray for I'm going to pray for them and I bless their little hearts. They just a little touched in the head. I'm going to bless them. Just bless them, Lord. I will say also for all of the people who have been victimized by evil people, I am so sorry what you have to go through because of that. Because none of you deserve it. You don't deserve to be talked to like that. You don't deserve for it to be taken offline. When you have words back and forth online, it should stay online. And children should be off limits completely, 100%. One thing you will never hear me do is go after somebody's child. I'm not doing that. I don't go offline and call their family members and bother people. I don't do that. I'm not going to do that. Words on the internet should just be that. If you want to have a back and forth and cuss somebody the hell out, cuss them the hell out. When you have to go offline and bother people, that shows that you've lost and that's the only thing that you have. Right? You can't take the words that are coming out of somebody's mouth. You should be able to get online and talk a little shit to each other and do a back and forth with each other without it having to go real life. It should never go real life. You should also not, I will say that is true, Miss Sonny. The people that have stalked you hasn't changed a thing in your life except getting to know the other people's true colors. That is true. It taught you some things. It taught you who really is there for you, who really loves you and really cares about you. It teaches you something. It also teaches you when bad people have ill intent and they smile in your face and act like they this and that and the next thing, then they tell horrendous lies about you and lie. It shows you who they truly are too. The truth always prevails eventually. That's why I always say that. Even if somebody don't see the truth right away, it's gonna smack them upside the head. Some of us be hard headed as hell. See, and Miss Stoney, if that hadn't happened, you wouldn't have known that she was a snake in the grass. If that hadn't happened, you wouldn't have known that, right? You found out that she was a snake in the grass. And think about if that hadn't happened. She'd been smiling in your face that whole time. You know what I'm saying? People be smiling in your face, but really stabbing you in the back. See, now you know what to protect your children from, though. If that hadn't happened, you would have not known, right? And you would continuously had a snake in your presence. But you chose, you know what I'm saying? You found out, so you got to cut the head off the snake. Not the anal tube for rejuvenation around her mouth, Mr. Fumble. Oh, so, Mr. Fumble said somebody needs to get anus rejuvenation around their mouth. Let's just say that. Woo, Lord have mercy. Absolutely. Yes, they do. You also, the crazy part is, I'm gonna say this. If somebody, I have never, and this was stated, somebody said this live, that I put the pedo word on somebody's back. I have never put that jacket on anybody's back without definite proof. I need to see black and white proof. I have never on this internet called anybody a pedo. Never. In fact, someone who has done me dirty, I actually tried to clear that up when I found out the true story. But their own friends spread that about them, not me. I have never done that to somebody. And I refuse to do that without facts. Now, next Friday or Tuesday, there is a person that is on these streets that actually has those charges. None of y'all know this person. It's a person that Get to Know knows, because he likes to show the truth that some people are not good people and you need to protect your children from them. I do have the information in black and white to prove that this person has those things. And I am going to warn the community at large about them. See, that's what I was doing with that other person, was warning the community at large about them, right? When you have to warn the public and to help other people and give victims a voice, that does not mean you deserve for that person to try to take it offline or do evil things to you. You don't deserve that bullshit. Nobody deserves it. And if somebody wanted to have a back and forth of words, that would be fine. But when you start threatening my child, I have an issue with that. And I don't know any parent who wouldn't. And I would never let somebody whatsoever and threaten somebody else's child. I would drop them right away and go, no, we're not doing that. If you can't come up here and not do that, you're not welcome on my platform. I would never let somebody do that to anybody because children are off limits. I have issues with anybody who comes after somebody else's child. I don't do that, never have. And here's the thing, I necessarily can't tell other people how to fight, and that even goes for others. But I myself, I think that's super wrong, and I would never allow that to happen. Like, even if I don't like a person, even if I myself choose not to be around a person, I would never, never allow someone to target somebody else's child. That is wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I will say is truly messed up. I would never allow somebody to come on my panel and trash a child Because here's the thing, trash the person. You know what I'm saying? Trash the person. Don't trash the kids. Kids ain't got shit to do with it. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Trash the person, not the kid. Just like don't mess with people's family members. Like Miss Stoney, like, right. Let's say me and you had a fight of some kind, right? I would never go offline and bother your innocent family members or any of that. That would be between me and you. And me and you could just cuss each other all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? But the child, your children, your family, they're off limits because they ain't got no part of that. It ain't none of their problem. They don't have any clue about it. You know, it's not for them. You know, like if two people have a fight, keep it on YouTube and keep it off online. Don't take it offline. That's just wrong. Now I will say, I am more protective over underage children. Um, you know, like but I would say like calling somebody's, even if their child is over age, I still believe that's wrong because the child or even your adult children have nothing to do with what you're and that person are going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say, Miss Watcher, me and you were having a fight, right? And I know you have an adult child. I'm not going to read your child a fifth. That ain't got shit to do with what me and you got going on. You know what I'm saying? Me and you just fighting each other. And now, talking about, there's another thing. I have heard people say talking about somebody's parenting is not talking about child. That is also true. But I wouldn't just like, go over there and say something about your adult child. That's still wrong because that your child or even the adult in your life is the same as your family, has nothing to do with what you and me got going on, right? That's between me and you. I got shit to do with him. I think that's also another thing is like when you two, like, let's say me and Watcher were fighting, right? Anybody else in her family ain't got shit to do with me and her fighting. And I'm just going to keep it on her. And as should keep it on me. And we should fight each other. I just think that you should, it's like if I'm going to be fighting somebody, I'm keeping it between me and them. That's just me. Hey, Fast Eddie. That's just me. I can't necessarily tell other people how they feel about anything, but me, myself, and I refuse to add anybody's family members also. Like, I'm not going to talk about your daddy, your mama, your cousin. That ain't got shit to do with why me and you are fighting. I'm going to keep it on you and the situation we have at hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say me and Miss Crystal Ann was fighting, and we was fighting hardcore. I ain't gonna bring none of her family member. I'm just gonna be me and her. That's just the way I fight. I keep it fair, if that makes sense. Like, if I don't want you bringing up my family, why would I bring up yours? If I'm not gonna, and here's the thing. Now, somebody else says they don't bring up my family, but their family is a part of it. That's different. Like two brothers doing something, you're both a part of it. It'd be different if it was an innocent person that had nothing to do with it, right? The person ain't even online, ain't bothering nobody. You don't bother that, That's just me. Now I will say if now I will say, Lady Red, that is true. Them are swinging words. Them are swinging words. Um, I am gonna post the link today if anybody wants to come up, talk, whatever. There's only a few people that will never be allowed on my link. Everybody knows that. I got to get over here to my chat right quick and pin that though. Y'all know I'm always forgetting to pin it. I don't know why. I don't know why I do that, but you know, I think it's if I'm going to talk shit, I'm going to talk shit to you and you alone. Me and you going to have our situation. Nobody else is going to be involved. I'm going to say this though. I do want some candy today, so I might go get me some candy. I ain't had no candy in a while, and Mr. Fumble, we were talking about it, and it's because I keep forgetting to pick it up. Like, I'll be right there, and I just forget to grab my candy. I just be forgetting. It's right there, and I just totally forgot to pick it up because of my ADHD. Oh, also, I forgot to do it this morning. I got to do it right quick. This your med check reminder. Take your medications and don't forget them like I do with my ADHD. I had to do the med check. I need to take my blood pressure, speaking of which, y'all. Hey, grandson. Woo, I had to take my blood pressure medication. Really, Lady Red? Britain, I gotta see if that's true. Britain bans Christianity. I gotta look that up. Miss Lady Red. Oh my God, there are some countries where it is illegal to be a Christian, y'all. Let's look and see which ones. 5 countries where Christianity is most persecuted: North Korea, Somalia, Libya, Eritrea, and Yemen. I don't see anything, and there's a difference between illegal versus persecuted. I want to see what is that's persecuted, but where is it illegal? The 10 most dangerous countries for Christians is North Korea, Somalia, Libya, Eritrea, Yemen, Nigeria, Pakistan, Sudan, Iran, Afghanistan. 13 countries where Bibles can only be delivered by illegal covert operations, which is Afghanistan, Iran, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. I'm hoping I said that right. Maldives, Mauritania, North Korea, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and Yemen. Why do I always mess up on them stands? Oh, KFM said Ms. M's baby has to have an open heart surgery. She's going through it, but she's definitely my hero. One of the strongest people I know, and she's going through everything alone. God bless her, and because her husband is gone at basic and won't be home till Tuesday. I'm gonna pray for her. I'm gonna tell you something. That is the hardest thing, going through surgery with their child. My son went into eye surgery when he was only 3 months. Well, he was like 2.5 months, supposed to be 3 months, and he only weighed 4 pounds and 11 ounces because he was a micro. And I saw babies in there having heart surgeries when they were like a few weeks old. And it is some of the hardest, craziest stuff that you've ever seen. But I'm trying. There is persecution in Afghanistan and North Korea, but I'm trying to find the Great Britain thing for you, Lady Red. It says UK anti-abortion rights activists whose case caught Trump admin attention convicted of breaching protest ban. Britain no longer a Christian country, and it's time to Republic of Life of Angelicism panel says. Oh, it says right here. The report triggered a quarrel Sunday night and is condemned by cabinet ministers seriously misguided, while the Church of England said it appears to have been hijacked by humanicists. The Commission on Religion and Belief in Public Life document says faith schools are socially diverse and the selection of children on the basis of their beliefs should be phased out. The number of Church of English bishops and the Lord should be replaced with in-house rabbis and other non-Christian clerics, as well as evangelist pastors. Acts of worship in school assemblies need to be abolished and replaced with a time for reflection. The coronation service for the next monarch ought to be overhauled to include other faiths. Salt for the day of the BBC Radio's 4 should include non-religious messages. I think this is where they're trying to basically do what they did here in the United States, where they separated church and school and separated government and church. I think they're trying to do that in Great Britain, and I think that's what's going on, Miss Lady Red. And she has to have, I think, 3 more after the surgery. Yeah, those heart surgeries ain't no joke, no joke. Now I'll tell y'all a story. I'm gonna tell y'all a story right quick. So in places where, yeah, I think people are reacting to it, Lady Red, because there was a document that came out that they basically said in the document, a 2-year commission chaired by the former senior judge Baroness Butler Sloss and involving leading religious leaders of all faiths calls for public life to be systematically de-Christianized. It says the decline of the church going and the rise of Islam and other beliefs mean a new settlement is needed for religion in the UK, giving more official influence to non-religious voices and those of non-Christian faiths. The report triggered a quarrel. So I think it's them reacting to the report that I just read you. Basically, they're trying to separate, church and state kind of thing. I will say that Miss Watcher, the gummies and the when I took the gummies, they messed my whole life up. And here's the thing: in Mississippi, you can only get the ones that are over the counter, which means they're not actual full blown THC. They're THC derivatives, right? And I got this shit over the counter, and I'm gonna tell you what, it messed me up, dog. I ain't never, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Woo! I ain't tried none of them drinks yet, Miss Crystal Ann, but Lord, sweet baby Jesus. Yeah, that's what we have in Watchers, the THCA, because it's not fully legal here yet. We have medical, but it's not fully passed, but I believe it is because we have at least 10 or 15 dispensaries in one area. And I'm like, yeah, we know what's fixing to happen. Y'all fixing to pass legal. We know y'all want that money, honey. Our state won't say money, child. And for all of those y'all who are Christians and people trying to put you down for that, remember what it says in the Bible about using all seed bearing plants? Just saying. It is a seed bearing plant. That's what most of my friends say anyway. You did a dab once and you was toe up from the flow up. I ain't never did shatter or dabs before, but I heard that shit'll tear you up from the flow up. Yes, and also a lot of people don't know this, but THC itself is actually and they have it has absolutely been proven to slow the progression of cancer. At least 6 valves of pure THC, and it has to be pure. and also helps with seizure disorders. A lot of people don't know that helps with a lot of when your brain fires off wrong. Yeah, I believe that's what they used to put in hashish. When they used to smoke it in the things, I think that's what they was doing back in the day, and they changed it to tobacco. But I believe when they used to have their spiritual journeys. That is true, Mr. Fumble. Oh, hey, Mr. Get to Know. We were just talking about this week I'm being all Christian like and stuff. So we not talking about that dude you sent me the information on. But next week we are. I'm just being Jesus oriented right now because it's Holy Week. I got to be a good child. I got to be a good children this week. Because Jesus said I need to be good. So this week I took off from any bull mess. I'm being a good child. I will say this. I have noticed that, Miss Watcher, that a lot of people versus flour versus drinking, that a lot of people who drink get actually really angry and stuff, and people who smoke are really chill. They're just hungry and want snacks. You know what I'm saying? They just want the snackies. That's all. I will, Mr. Get to Know. In fact, I'm going to tell you what day and all that. I'm thinking Friday or Tuesday. For us to share that information out so that we can warn the public about this person because and make sure that people keep their children away from that person because of their charges. We don't want that being around anybody for that matter. I will say that I would have preferred for my ex to be a smoker than an alcoholic. When the alcohol just it makes people like angry and some people it makes them abusive and all this other stuff. I'd rather them smoke a little flower and be hungry. Just give them the snacks. That's all they want is the snacks. Now, me myself and I'm a giggler. If and here's the crazy part. Y'all know how much I talk, right? Y'all know I'm a huge talker. When I get when I used to drink, I've only drank a handful of times, but when I used to drink, I was never an angry person. I was always the giggling, quiet person, which is weird. I was like totally, hey, Mr. MRH. Um, and I'm doing better about not saying Mr. so much, Ma Brad Hunter. If you notice in chat, I keep catching myself putting Mr. before your name, but I keep catching myself. And so I'm doing better. Also, just I was watching Mr. MRE with Rocco, and he's so cute. Hey, the Beef Sector Podcast. And what I was telling, I'll show y'all the dog toys that I think Mr. MRE needs to get for Rocco. And if any of you have big dogs, these toys right here, I used to get them from Walmart all the time for my big dogs. And they're made out of harder plastic. Hey, Mr. Get to Know. Is Miss Get to Know there? Tell her I say hey too. I can't hear you, and I don't know why. There you are. I hear a little noise.
Is that better?
Yes, yes, yes. I can hear you now.
I'm just gonna come out and flat out say this right now, girl. I just love you, dude. You're awesome. You know that? Like, you got my wife. You constantly have my wife laughing. You constantly got me in a smile on my face. I just love it. I'm just telling you right now.
Yeah, I'm over here looking at the I'm pulling up the dog toys right now because one of the people that I watch, they have a beautiful puppy, and he loves his toys, but he's obviously a big dog, so he tears up stuff. Um, and there was these ones that I specifically bought for Walmart for my Pitty once, and
Mhm.
he never tore them up. He loved those toys, and so right now I'm trying to find. I know they're on here.
The Kong toys.
Um, The ones that I got were like a harder. Oh, I think there they are. It's the Hearts Duraplay. There it is. Let me
Mm.
show you. And these right here are the ones, and you get them in a ball form. It looks like one of them looks like a bone. They have squeakers in them. So if you have a puppy dog that loves squeaky toys, these right here are good for like big animals. You can get them in different sizes also because that plastic that's on them is a really tough plastic, like really, really good.
Yeah, I'm the only big animal in this house.
I was just wanting to show which ones I if Mr. MRE actually put out um a wish list for the dog, I would buy something for him because he's so cute. I love animals. But yeah, that dude, I'm deciding on whether to do it for a topic Tuesday or a fuck around find out Friday. Um,
Oh, I think it'd be more fitting on to fuck around and find out because that dude's fucking around. He's about to find out.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because people do need to be warned about someone in the community that's doing the stuff that that person does with that kind of record.
Crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, like nah, you need to protect people on those kind of situations because um nobody needs to have themselves or their family around people like that.
Nope. I agree. I agree. Just like good old Michael Lee Duda, you know what I mean?
Oh, there. Oh, hey, Hotspot. I forgot to say hey to Hotspot. I just saw Hotspot had came in when I was looking up the dog toys. But yeah, the Hearts dog toys, and then there are some harder ones that are made for specific dogs like that I've bought before. But if they like the squeakies and the balls and stuff like that, they do sell them in a ball form. Um, my dogs tend to tear the shit out of the regular little tennis balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to buy them a pack every like 2 months because they tear off. What they first do is they tear off the outside thing. And, yeah, and then they start tearing up the inside. And then I'm like, I gotta throw this away and get a new one.
Have you ever tried those Kong balls?
I did. I know which ones you're talking about. The Kong. I've also one of our toys. It looks like a fish. On the outside, it's all soft, but on the inside, it's like a hard fish toy too. So it's got like two toys. We got it from a Bark box. Let me show people what the Kong toys are so they'll know. Um, those are the ones that some of them look like butt plugs. Or things.
A lot of them look like butt plugs, and then some of the Kong ones look like strokers.
Yeah. And so they look funny, but these right here are really good for like big dogs. It's harder for them to tear them up. They're called Kong Extreme. They're made specifically for big dogs.
Yeah.
And
Now tell me that's not a stroker right there. Tell me that's not a stroker.
I know, right?
Oh shit.
But yeah, they do. They don't look right, but they're dog toys. They're dog toys, people.
They're definitely dog toys.
Oh,
When we were staying with a buddy when we were homeless for a while, he had a couple pits and that red Kong toy right there anyway. He had one of those. Man, I've seen him around the house. I'm like, what the fuck? I kind of pulled him aside, like, dude, I got my kids here, man. I'm like, put your toys away, bro. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, bro, you can't just leave that shit sitting out here in the front room shit, bro. He's like, what? I'm like, you're flipping your little toy there, bro.
Huggies cut
Like,
and
dude, that's my
shoot.
dog toy. I'm like, oh shit.
Let me
And of
let me
course,
put this up there. Miss Cut and Shoot says she's at work right now, but she's popping in real quick to say hello to everybody and stay tuned. I will be doing a live today, either today or tomorrow, on our community post. Big at Joe. Y'all have a great day. She's gonna be doing a live on that. You know, I always do my what do you call that? Spread the love. And I'm so sad. I wanted to do karaoke with you Sunday and I fell asleep on you.
it's okay. It's okay. You can show up this Sunday.
I actually fell asleep on Twisted Dockets live when you were up there. I wanted to jump up there, and I was in
Tainted.
there. Yeah,
Tainted.
tainted. Well, I know what I just did. I put Twisted Tea and Tainted together. That's what I did. I threw their names together. I put Tainted Docket and Twisted Tea's name together at one time.
That's not a bad combination though.
Yeah, it's really not. But I was watching Tainted Docket and I fell asleep. Hey, calm down. Bailey. Bailey, it's just a workman. You're okay. He's not hurting you. She's sitting literally at the window barking at him. You hear him? Listen to him. Look on the bad little. Hey, hey. Calm down.
You can hear the dog beginning.
Nope,
He's
he's got
over
the
here looking
chihuahua
like-
out here now.
They're over there looking like, what?
Oh, bless
Hey.
you.
Calm down. I'm keep having to tell my dogs to calm down. Our water heater went for the leaking at the top or something, so we had to have yesterday a plumber come over. Hey, hush! And he fixed it yesterday, but something's still like bubbling up or something, so he has to come like fix that or whatever.
Yeah, we should
Also-
have our water heater replaced too.
Also, Miss Cut and Shoot this morning, if you listen to what I said this morning, I was talking about how much I love you, regardless of what your religious beliefs are or anything else. Because even though I'm a Christian, I don't judge others, and I love everybody for who they are. I just love
I
everybody.
mean, hell, you put up with me. I mean, that's got to show something right there.
You're amazing, Mr. Get to Know. And the fact that you advocate for children and advocate not only for that, but yourself and your book is as soon as the 21st hits, that's when we get our YouTube check. I'm getting that book.
Oh, yeah.
I already have it on the wish list saved. I'm just waiting until that check hits so I can get it. And when it does, I still got to do Miss Josie's. I got to do a thing for her. And when I get yours, I'll do your video for it. Like to not only promote it, but also like, it's kind of like doing a simple reading and showing the front and the back and doing a little Canva for it so that others can get interested and also want to read it.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it.
Hey, DBZ Nation, what's up? Hello.
It's definitely got some powerful words in it.
Hey, Miss Raditha. It kills me when people don't know how to say Miss Raditha's name.
Yeah, Miss Perdita.
Yeah, and there's other people like, how do you say that name? I'm like, it literally is how you.
You spell it like you say it.
Yeah, like I can
Raditha.
understand. I've had people mess up my name.
Dude,
And-
I've had people mess up my name, and how the hell can you mess up G2K?
That I don't know. It's literally a G, a 2, and a K.
I mean, for real.
What I used to run around here with was my first initial, my middle initial, and my last name. And it was so funny hearing people say it because they would mess it up. And it was hilarious, especially when I was on You Now. Because I've already been doxxed. I'm going to say it. They used to call me Co Whitaker because they couldn't say it. I've been doxxed, y'all. I've been doxxed twice.
Oh, I
times,
doxed myself.
times.
Like I just threw it all out there. I came when I first started YouTube. I came in under my real name, my real shit. I'm like, here you go. Here's all about me. This is me. Oh yeah, I gave myself up. I didn't give anybody a chance to dox me. So I took that card away from them.
Now I have messed up people's names before in the past. Don't get me wrong. And I've had to ask like Michelle. I call her Shell. Chalet. I've messed up her name so many times when I first saw it because I thought it was Shelly and not Chalet, right? So I was messing it up left and right, shit. And then I accidentally called her Sheila, which ain't even how you spell that. I'm like, damn, what the fuck is wrong with me today? I have done that before, but if it's like something that's more like Fumble, how you gonna mess up Fumble? How you gonna mess up Happy? Like, hey, y'all chill out. Ain't nobody doing nothing to you.
Trust me, if anybody could mess
Bruiser.
it up, you're talking to him.
Now, here's the funny part. Bruiser is the smallest dog in the house, and he thinks he has the biggest attitude of all of them.
Oh, he does.
He
He doesn't think that shit. He knows it.
wants all the attention. That's all it is. He wants somebody to give him the attention. And the funny part was the biggest dog that I had was the sweetest one. The smallest one's sweet too, but I have this feist. I don't know if you ever seen a bitch-legged feist, but they're short and fat, mixed
Yep.
with he's a pit bull terrier mix. And that dog right there, he's I call him my grumpy old man. He when I get onto him, he'll growl and walk away with me with his head down, steadily growling while walking away. Like he knows he's in trouble. He's giving me attitude the whole time. Like he's got attitude from hell.
He's like, if I could just get away with biting you, I'd bite you right now.
And he's the one that people think is like this big giant dog when he barks, because he sounds like he's like this big huge dog, and when he howls, he sounds like a hound dog. Like
Oh,
he has
nice.
a hound dog howl. Yeah,
Dude.
he sounds huge, but then you look at him and like, how does such a smaller dog have such a huge voice?
Yeah. Have you
And
ever
yet-
seen have you ever seen these those pit bull chihuahua mixes?
Heck yeah. The crazy part about it is, even with the feist mix I have, when he's got his mouth closed, he looks like a regular feist, but when he opens his mouth, you can see the gator in his mouth. Like he's got all those teeth and got that gator mouth like a pit bull.
So that's
Hey,
what we're
Miss
gonna do.
W.
That's what we're gonna
Y'all-
do. We're gonna get a
Y'all-
female. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Y'all go get a chihuahua and a pity and have your chihuahua
Oh no!
pity.
Oh no! We already got the chihuahua.
Oh
We're
my
gonna get a
goodness.
female pit and a chair. You know what I mean? A step ladder for him.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine a pity who has the personality of a chihuahua? Lord have mercy. We'd all need help for that one.
Have you seen him though? Have you actually seen him?
No, I don't think I have.
You should look him up and show everybody, dude. They're the cutest things. Dude. They're adorable. They're like, and you can get like almost like $2-3 grand a piece for them, dude.
Hold on. Pit. I'm looking it up right now.
Hit Chihuahua mix. Yep.
There's one on there with blue eyes. Oh,
There's one on there. Yeah, we've seen one. He's got like he's got the face of a Chihuahua. He's got the body build of a pit bull, but he's small like a Chihuahua, and he's got blue eyes,
yeah.
like husky eyes.
Yeah.
They're just amazing, dude.
He's cute as hell.
Oh, that looks like a wiener dog and a pity mix right there. It's called a chapitty.
That's your pity. Yep.
Oh, hold on. We gotta look up chapitty. Oh my god.
Aren't they cute?
So cute. Oh my god, a brindle chapitty would be so cute. I had a reverse tiger stripe pit bull. He was the sweetest baby. It's just like their heads don't match their body though.
Yeah, and then some of them are reversed up. You know what I mean? Some of them got the head of the pit bull and the body of a Chihuahua. Some of them got the head of the Chihuahua and the body of the pit bull. The size of the pit bull. It's crazy. They're cool. They're cool as hell though.
Yeah, there's one with the head, the small head and the big body. He got more head than he got body, but it's the opposite way. He got more body than he got head.
Yeah.
I love puppy dogs. I really do. Like I just love them. My little one, he because he's got the pit, he's got like the let me see. I think I have a picture of here with all three of them, but he's not standing up. Hold on, let me see if I can. I have the one where he's standing up right here. I don't know if you can see it. Let me put myself on solo layouts. Let's see. Solo layout. If you see the one to the very right that's standing, That's the pit bull mixed with the Feist. The little tiny ones to the far left, and then the boxers in the center. Let me see. I have another picture. I need to get a better picture of them. But there's the boxer. She's sitting up giving the eternal side eye like she always does. Right there in the middle, he's laying on top of the little one halfway, and he's sitting there. But he's got the head of a pity, but the body of the Feist. He's so serious. And the little one, this is the little one and the boxer together. That's Bruiser and Bailey. We have Bailey, Bruiser, Boomer. The cat's named Bella. The outside cat's named Bob because he just showed up. He's a bobtail cat. So we named him. Yeah, Bob because he ain't got no tail.
Nice.
So we have Bob, Bella, Bailey, Bruiser, and Boomer.
Now you should look up the boxer Chihuahua mix.
Oh, the boxer Chihuahua. Hold on.
Oh my Lord! I'm telling you what.
Yeah, they're cute.
Boxer. Now I have a friend who her poodle and her Chihuahua had babies, and they were so cute.
But your poodle,
oh, yeah, it was so cute. Let's share. Oh, look at some. Oh my God. I absolutely love boxers because of Bailey. She is like the most laid back boxer you have ever seen. She gets like 10 seconds of zoomies. And then she's like, nope, I'm done. I want a nap. I'm tired. Screw everybody.
Yeah.
She's the laziest laid back boxer I have ever seen in my entire life. Hey, CFM Queen.
Hi, CFM. Dude, she's such a sweetheart, man.
She really is.
She's got one hell of a story too. I tell you what.
We were talking about that the other day. I wasn't sure if you were in here in the clouds because I know you'd be working or sleeping. We were talking about part of her story the other day, just part of it, just a portion. And you know, all the things that she's been through so much. I told her she needs to write a book. Yeah. I think her story is so powerful.
I think everybody should write a book.
All of us have different stories to tell, and each one of us have been through some things.
Everybody has a story, whether it's a good, happy story or a sad story, a messed up story. Everybody's got a story to tell, dude.
Well, it's like when I was over there at Miss Harlow's and we were doing Sisters in Grief yesterday, you know, and then we went over to she did another live after that, but she does a live that's called Sisters in Grief. And you don't just have to be a sister in grief, you know what I'm saying? It's just the name of the show, anybody in grief. And we were talking about how, you know, with grief, it can hit you at different stages. Like some people, grief don't hit them the same way or right away. It takes time. Like I was talking about when my brother passed away, and that's been almost 25 years ago. It'll be 25 years next year. He died in 2001. I couldn't cry for him at the time because first off, my brother was special needs. So I knew that he was not in pain anymore. He had the most beautiful smile on his face. He was looking up towards heaven and just smiling. And I was almost in shock too also. So about a year after my brother passed, I lost the dog that I had at the time. That was basically who I told all my secrets to, who was my, you know, when I was having an emotional problem, was there for me. And when he passed away, it all hit me at one time. And when I tell people, if you hold back that grief and it hits you at one time, you're going to be in a very dark place. So I was telling somebody else in chat, I said, please, when that grief hits you, please reach out to one of us. You know what I'm saying? Make me that promise, because I know where I was at when that hit me. And sometimes it is delayed and people think, well, why ain't I crying? I'm sad. I'm upset. You know, I miss this person. I love them. Sometimes it don't hit you when you think it's going to. And sometimes it takes, like, you may not cry this time, but you're going to get it. You know what I'm saying? So, and sometimes it can be delayed. Sometimes you can be a shock. Sometimes you don't want to believe it. So you make yourself think it's not real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I have a buddy that we named my son after. He died 4 days after Christmas in 2004, and I still haven't grieved for him, and I know the day's coming, and yeah,
Just
so I
know that
know
if
what you're
it
talking
ever
about.
gets too bad, to always reach out. See, with my sister, we were talking about where you have planned, or like when you can prepare for something, somebody's sick, they're elderly, versus unprepared is a lot harder too. With my sister, when she passed, it'll be 3 years this year that she's passed, I think 3. I have to go back and look. Um, I kind of prepared for her death because I knew about her sickness, beforehand. We were praying that she would get better, but you know how that goes. She had
Yep.
liver and kidney failure. So she had already slipped into a coma one time. I had to sign the paperwork for them to do resuscitation, and I had to give permission for them to put a tube down her throat and all this stuff. So I'd already cried so much over the entirety of the time that she had this disorder that by the time it happened, I had basically cried everything I could cry for it, if that makes sense. Like, I still missed
Oh
her,
yeah, absolutely.
but when it's something like when Miss Bambi has gone through, or others where it's unexpected and you don't expect it, it hits you a lot harder, especially when they're young, or like, it's by means of suicide. That
Yeah,
hits a lot harder because
yeah,
first off, you're not expecting it. Second off, you got all these feelings beside not just being upset or sad, but you have anger towards it too. Why did you leave me?
yep,
There's so much there to unpack.
yeah. And so many of the deaths that I've had in my life, like more of them were unexpected than anything else. Than.
Well, see, like even if it's like our grandparents, we're still gonna cry. And then there's also if you don't get the chance to say goodbye.
Yep.
Sometimes that hits you harder than anything because with my grandmother, I knew it was gonna happen, but because I didn't get up there in those 2 seconds and I didn't get to say goodbye, it hit me the hardest. And me and my grandmother had a thing. If y'all wonder where I got the nickname Charlie, my grandmother used to call me Charlie Brown because of where Lionel used to carry around the blanket.
Hmm.
I used to do that when I was a kid. I had a blanket and I had a teddy bear, and I named it after my dad. And I used to have both of them with me at all times. So my grandmother named me Charlie Brown. That's where my nickname came from. And we used to have this saying that we said, I'd tell her, I'll see you later, old B. And she'd say, I'll catch you later, young ho. And that was our saying to each other, even though technically I was the bitch and she was the hoe. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. Uh,
Yeah, that's a whole
uh,
nother story.
but that was our saying to each other, like when we get off the phone or when I'd go visit her and I'd leave her house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That was our little saying to each other. And so what I've always said is they can take that person out of this world, but one thing they can't take is your memories with that person, your happiness with that person, your good times. And so when that grief does hit you, reflect on those.
yeah. I was the same way with my baby blanket. My grandma, my one grandma, my mom's mom, she died when I was 18 months old, and she made me a Raggedy Ann and Andy blanket, and
You carried that
I
thing everywhere, didn't you?
I still got it. I still got it, and it's the only thing. That's the only thing that I have that connects me to that grandma, and like I don't have any memories of her whatsoever. And unfortunately, the grandma I do have memories of, she's not a nice lady to me.
Well, I'll tell you this one. On one side, I've lost both sets of grandparents, and all
Yep.
that. My one grandmother, she wasn't always the best, but she was what I had, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
My grandfather passed before I was ever born on that one side. So when my grandmother lost my grandfather, the love of her life, she kind of went off the deep end a little, right? She wasn't the best, but she was still there, and I loved her. On the other side, however, no connection. In fact, didn't start getting connection until after my son was born. I was told at 3 years old that they would never love me. I was pushed
That's
away because I was asking for a hug.
that's crazy. That's crazy. You said that. The last time I talked to my grandma, the one that didn't like me, was on Christmas, like a year before she died, and I didn't want to go in the first place. And my mom kind of guilt tripped me into going because she's like, "This could be your, that's your dad's mom, that's your grandma, this could be the last time, the last chance you get to see her, at least do it for your dad." So I did it anyway, and of course had to get pictures and shit taken, So I go to get a picture taken with her, and I leaned down to give her a hug when the picture was over, and I was like, "Merry Christmas, I love you, Grandma." And she goes, "Yeah, well, I never loved you." I was like,
I don't know what to say back to that.
I just said, "Well, later." I don't know. Like the first memory I have in my life, I'm like 3.5 years old, maybe 4 years old almost, and my grandma punches me. My grandma was punching me in the face, literally knocked me across her knocked me across the front room, knocked me across the front room because I was singing a song.
Now, I will say this, my daddy, when that happened, threatened to knock my grandfather out. I'm just going to say this, he picked me up and I was crying because, of course, you're 3 years old. They push you away and say, I want, because he had my cousin in his lap and was loving him up, right? So, of course, me being 3 years old, I want a huggy too for my grandpa, right?
All right.
So I walk up to go get a hug. He pushes me down and says, "Don't ever try to hug me again. I'll never love you." And I remember this like it was yesterday, and I was little. And my dad picked me up because, of course, I was crying. He says, "First off, don't you ever put your hands on my kids. Second off, you ever say something like that to her again, I'll knock your block off." And my daddy told my mama to get the rest of us kids together, and we left. And it took a while before we ever went back over there. And I never was close to them like that because of that. Like they would buy my cousins Christmas gifts, Easter gifts, all that. I got one gift my entire lifetime from them, and it was and which I appreciated, but it was something I couldn't even hardly use. It was an adult, like those t-shirt nightgowns, but it was made for an adult, and I was only like 9 at the time. It was way too big for me, from the clearance aisle. It's the only thing I ever received. And
My grandma gave me a Christmas present 2 times, and the only reason why she gave them to me is because she knew I didn't like them, and those were those nasty ass Queen Anne cherries, those chocolate covered cherries that's got like the snot filling inside of them. Yeah, that's what she gave me.
I wish they had given me something, but
Yeah.
I got closer with my grandfather, I will say, and my grandfather and my grandmother both apologized to me. I will say this, I'll give them this credit. When I was close to being grown, because I'm the first grandchild they had that graduated high school, right? And they both looked at me and they said, "We're so sorry for the way we treated you because we thought you were going to be a bad kid." And I'm like, I'm the only grandkid you had that actually graduated high school and went to college. The rest of your grandkids dropped out. But my grandfather,
how does that even make sense? Like we didn't really like you because we thought you were going to be a bad kid. If you think your child's going to be a bad kid, it seems like you would nurture them and try to push them in a positive direction.
The only reason me and my grandfather bonded before he died was because he loved the ground my son walked on. And every day I was in the hospital when they told me I was going to die, he was there every single day. Did not leave that hospital, was, really, that was the moment, I guess the pinnacle of how he treated my son was different than how he did me. And I'll never take that away from him. Like, he thought the sun set and rose in my child. He loved the ground that child walked on. He could do no wrong. But well, technically, yeah, my son was the first great grandchild that he was allowed or around kind of situation. I don't know who this is right quick. I'm going to put up a banner because I don't think I've ever seen you hit my link before, so I'm putting up a banner right quick. Give me just a moment.
What's her name? I can tell you.
YouTube Life.
Hello, Charlie. It's Happy.
Oh, it's Happy Life. Oh shit. I know who the hell you are now. You just came up with a different name, child. You scared the hell out of me. Don't do that to me.
I mean, anything with a life on the end is me. I just change it differently. So that's what I go by now.
You go by YouTube Life?
Yeah.
You been
To
getting in
make,
any mess? You been getting in any mess lately?
I mean, not that much. I mean, here and there.
Well, I saw you almost getting some mess a while back, and I was like, "Oh Lord, Happy, don't do it! Don't do
Oh Lord, what channel did you see me almost getting missed?
it!" When you and Diva Tomboyish almost got into it because you was talking crap, I was like, "Oh, Happy, you fixing to be in a world of don't do it." Hey, Miss
Diva said
Ronnie,
she wasn't really gonna hurt me though. She was like,
she was
please
doing
don't
a
hurt me.
no. Let me tell you something. She was doing and Diva does it. She was doing a warning shot. She was telling you don't do it. She was begging you not to do it. She always does her warning shots. If she tells you to leave her be, best bet leave her be.
She was firing a shot over your bow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Diva don't play. I know that gets no. You may not know Miss Diva Tomboyish, but she's an amazing
No,
human
I
being.
didn't.
But if you just don't play them games with her. That's all I'm saying. You don't poke the bear. Don't
My rule of
walk in.
thumb.
Okay.
My rule of thumb is
Okay.
if they have the name Diva in their name, I don't even fuck with them.
Oh wow.
Rule of thumb.
Uh,
I'm not even like, especially on YouTube. If they got the word Diva in their name, I just don't even. I don't fuck with them.
she's a
Wow.
I love her content. I don't share her because she don't like to be shared out when I watch her content. She's one of those people she don't want nobody to share her. But she's awesome and sometimes she comes in here occasionally. But I was like when I saw Happy Life I was like don't do it. You don't want to get into a fight like that.
Yeah. I didn't even know Diva liked that. I thought, but now I do.
Now you know not to poke bears and
Live and learn.
don't walk into the lion's den with a meat bikini on.
I mean,
Meet
for
the
real.
Queen. Shit.
You've been running around these streets being messy though.
Well, a little bit, but not like in bigger messiness. You know what I mean? Just like regular.
Just your regular little messy self.
Yeah.
Now I will say my great grandmother, she lived to be almost 92 years old and would have lived longer than that, I believe. It because she was still, let me say this, at 80 years old, she was trying to fight a 40-year-old. She was still walking to the store like 6 blocks away or more. Like I'm talking about some miles away. She didn't like cars. She'd tell you was going too fast if you went over 10 miles an hour because she was in the time frame before the T model. So she didn't like cars, but she probably would have lived a hell of a lot longer if her kids hadn't started fighting. And I think she just gave up because she was just tired of dealing with them, to tell you the truth. She wanted to go on home to glory. She was just, you know what I'm saying? She's like, I'm
Yeah.
done with this shit. I'm going home to glory. Because she was one of those stubborn people. Like, I ain't going. You ain't making me go.
I love stubborn people.
I done said, and it's true. I said this years ago. I have a great aunt that was my grandmama's sister. I told her years ago she was too mean and ornery. She was gonna be the last one left, and if she ain't the last one left, I ain't sitting here.
Oh, that's good shit. All right, sweetheart. Well, I gotta get my ass to work. Well, my no having an ass, but still gotta get it to
No,
work.
you still have the no acetal pills, but you know Miss G2K, she got all the booty for all of us. You know, she got that
Oh,
found you, Miss No
she's
Booty.
got that. She's got that glory booty. You know what I mean? Like I make her. We don't take the elevator. I make us take the stairs, and I always make sure that I walk 4 or 5 stairs below her. You know what I mean? Just because
Just
I
so you
got
can
it.
go,
Oh
all that
my
glory.
god! Tell you,
As you,
I'm an ass man. I tell you what.
I'm gonna start calling Miss G2K. I found you, Miss Nobody. Get it together and bring it back to me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Tell you what.
So if I come in your chat and say, "Hey, Miss Nobody," you know who I'm talking to.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Mm.
Y'all
Oh
have
yeah.
a good day and thank you for coming up.
I told you, anytime I can catch you live and I got a few minutes, I'm going to come up here and give you a hard time because I just adore you. So there you go. Okay,
Y'all have
later,
Well,
everybody.
a good
later,
night.
Charlie. I will definitely be going by YouTube Live. I think it's catchy. I think it makes sense. And I just think in general, I'm going to retire with this name because it's no joke. So, yeah.
Well, I do like Happy Life though, just because, it just like it always makes me think of the song. The song by Pharrell Williams.
I
Um,
just want to be happy.
if you know you're happy, then dun, 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 dun. And like I always think of that song every time I saw you. And then yes, we all messed up and called you Happy Feet. I don't know for how long.
Yeah,
I know.
y'all been doing that for like 2 years now. So yeah,
Hey El Blue, hey love.
happy feet.
Well, I mean, I kind of liked it too. Like, here's the thing: even though Happy Feet wasn't your name, I kind of like that because it's like it just explains a happy person. You know what I'm saying? I just like being happy.
Yeah, but YouTube Live makes sense because I'll be on YouTube. So YouTube Live is on YouTube.
I know that me myself and um I've always went by Charlie even when I had my other account. I had another account at one time years
Mm,
ago, still Charlie then. I've always been Charlie. It's just I a lot of people back in those days I was just so chill and wasn't in the drama that a lot of people didn't know who the hell Charlie was because Charlie didn't get
mm.
no shit.
Well, didn't you get doxxed a couple times?
Oh yeah, and I just got doxxed again recently.
Oh my. So now you asking me to get some mess. Now you got in yourself some mess.
Oh yeah, I be getting into messy things, especially because I be exposing truths and people don't like the truth. And the truth shall set you free.
Yeah.
Well, I went to showing somebody's true colors and showing their own words out of their own mouth, and they didn't like it, so that's what they did.
So they had to dox you and say, fuck this, I'm gonna dox this person.
Yeah, pretty much. And the only crazy thing is they showed something that is an abandoned property that's been abandoned for quite a few years and said that's where I live. And I'm like, I ain't lived there in so many years. It's been a while. Y'all calm down. We got workmen over doing stuff, and the dogs are like in here with me and whatnot. And they're like wanting to be out there seeing what's going on. And they're like, I want you to come out here and say hey. I'm on Bailey butt. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. I know. You're so pitiful. My dog's being pitiful right now. He just got up on the bed and fell out on his back, wanting his belly rubbed.
Yeah, you know how YT cameras got hers? I got mine's like that. But I put a little twist on it.
Oh, so that's where the camera stuff is. They came from YTC.
Yeah,
YouTube
YT cameras. Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I have to rub the dog right now. He's wanting his attention. Are you pitiful? Yeah. I tell him
You
he's my
gotta
pitiful
get
pitiful. He's pitiful. He's a pit bull mix. And so I tell
oh
him he's my pitiful.
people.
Yeah, he's his dad was a pit bull terrier and his mom was a feist. And so he's half feist and half pit bull. And so I tell him all the time he's my beautiful pit bull. And he'll lay down on the bed and start rubbing his face and being pitiful, and it's funny.
Mm. Yeah, you gotta give the dog his exercise and stuff like that. Make sure he's eating. And when he goes to shitting, you better make sure you have some patent on that damn floor, or else your whole entire house gonna smell like duck duck.
Well, no, see, I have a fenced in backyard and we take out the dogs all the time, and that's if you look at the short that I did with the backyard back porch, they also have a fenced in backyard. So they don't use the house at all. They're good little pups. They go outside all the time. But when you are puppy training, like my youngest dog is only 2 years old. Um, we had to puppy train him that way. We had those little puppy pads.
Mm.
Yeah, CFM Queen, that was the wrong house number incident. It was pretty much that house has been abandoned for quite a while now. So whatever happens to it happens to it. Eventually I'm gonna have to tear that bitch down and tear the other one down. But it's been abandoned for a while now. And the funny part is, the person who told the lie about that didn't even know that, like, they knew some situations where they're lying about, because they know the person that I hired to fix the floors in that house, and I paid over $1,000 for the wood that was put into that home. And it's like, the thing about it, it's the reason I just let it go downhill is because it's an old ass trailer, and I was just sinking so much money into it that it wasn't worth it in the end. It's worth it just to eventually tear it down. Sometimes it's it's not worth sinking money into a broken down thing, because you're just steadily sinking money into it, steadily fixing it, right? And so, because it's not worth it, is eventually just to let it do what it's gonna do.
Definitely.
And yeah. So got any plans for this weekend? Happy life or YouTube life?
Yeah, I know it's gonna take a while, but I promise I will retire with this name. Um, Not really. I might go see a movie or two or hang out with family, but yeah, I'm getting old.
Well, we gonna eat big food. That's what we gonna do for because my son's almost 18, so therefore he don't do Easter egg hunts or nothing. Even though I still buy him candy every year, and I probably will even after he's grown and moved out on his own and all that stuff. I probably still will get him stuff like that for holidays. But um yeah, we don't do Easter egg hunts anymore because of there's no kids, like small kids in the house. So we just eat big. We do big old
Right.
eatings.
But you also got to make sure you give your son a car and stuff and make sure his college fund taken care of.
Oh yeah, we've already discussed that situation about him getting his license and whatnot. Because he is 17 now. So we've already talked about like what a reliable first vehicle would be, because I'm not going to go out there and go crazy and get him something that he can hurt himself in. Because your first car, a lot of parents try to go for the new. You don't do that for a first car for a teen. You get something that is reliable, that won't break down, but you
Like
don't
a
want to go too
2005
crazy.
Jeep or something. Or 2006 Chevrolet, maybe. Oh,
Yeah, you get something that's reliable, because most first cars for kids, they're not going to fully take care of well until they're more able to appreciate. And so the first one, you don't get them nothing crazy. You just don't.
yeah, just get something that handles and that's enough. Because I know other kids gonna be like, "Man, what happened to that Lamborghini, man? You're supposed to get that Lamborghini to represent." And you're like, "Nah, we're old fashioned. We're like, get something that handles good. Like, it's a nice car, but damn it, we're not going all out."
Yeah, no. I have you seen those kids that the parents be buying them these flashy, expensive, and then they get into a
Yep,
wreck and they hurt
yep,
themselves, and
yep.
nah. Too many kids do stupid stuff nowadays. And I will say, CFM Queen, you 100% on that. Sometimes with the houses like that, you gotta demolish, and the land is what's worth it. The land is what's and I don't have a landlord. I own that property, and I have to pay taxes on that bitch all the time. Trust me, them land taxes come every year and they don't play. Them land taxes be hitting.
Do they now? Mm.
Now I will say, probably where you're at, the land taxes are probably higher. Because Mississippi, and I don't know exactly where you're at. Happy life, because I've been,
I'm in the Carolinas.
but still, because of Mississippi's, why I say this, Mississippi has one of the lowest rates And so that's why I say we probably have y'all's land taxes probably ain't much more than ours, but it's still probably more because Mississippi taxes are low. We have a 7% tax on most sales, and like I will say, New York's taxes, you don't even want to know. I don't even want to know what California taxes are. I don't want to know what Texas taxes are. I'm just saying, mm-mm.
Wow.
Taxes be
And
hitting.
it
Um,
do.
any drama you can tell me about that's been going on? Because I've been missing some of the drama that's been going on in the beefing sector. I saw Mother did a live, and I saw that Diva and Pizza are into it, and I saw
Oh
that
yeah, Diva and Pete are definitely into it. I think Mother was trying to warn Pizza like don't do this, don't do that, all that type of stuff. And yeah, Pizza has been doing her thing and Diva has been calling her a powerless troll and with no army and stuff like that. And yeah,
what
a
did
lot going on.
like I heard that. Okay, so I heard that Dory was giving out information on other people to ZX. Now I saw
Mm,
something about that. Did you see that where they were trying to say Dee Dee Loop Loop? It was Dee Dee Loop Loop, and it was Dory, and it was somebody else. Kimmy, just Kimmy. They were talking about that situation. I was trying to figure out, were they saying that, because I think they said that Dory was the one sent it around, but somehow they were all involved. I don't want to misspeak on anybody from that situation.
all I heard
Um,
was somebody giving out information, but
yeah,
other than that, I don't know who.
yeah, like that's I heard about the information being given out, but I don't want to put that jacket on
Yeah,
nobody's
we don't
back
know. We
because I
don't
don't
know.
know exactly who did what to who and all this. Because sometimes it's hard with them storylines. Sometimes it'd be hard trying to keep up, you know. And then I was like, oh Lord Jesus. I was like, oh my God. And because that's what Mother's cleanup about was the other day, and that's the only reason I know about it was because Mother was cleaning up Dory on it, and I was like, what? When did this happen?
Right.
I done missed something along the way here.
Well, I mean, Ness was back on Lemons last night, and
Oh Lord, they done made
surprisingly,
up again.
yeah, surprisingly, I was on the panel, and me and Ness, we went back and forth. Normally, in the past, if I was on the panel, she wouldn't even like hit the link, but I was on the panel. Me and her went back and forth, but she laughed it off and stuff. So yeah, I was surprised about that. Charlie, Charles.
I'm still here, whatnot. I have to mute for just a second. I'm listening though. But you and Ness went back and forth, and what did she say to you?
Man, man, we were just going back and forth. I don't know, Ness be wild. Ness be like happy if you don't go go somewhere with your Steve Urkel looking ass and all this and that. Uh,
So now you and her is beefing.
I wouldn't say beefing. It's more like I don't know what it is. It's more like a off and on. Like we go back and forth. Like we go 1-2 punches here and there. All in all, we're good. She was just saying, yeah, I don't think you're gonna be going back to the finesses anytime soon. That's all. That's all she said.
Oh,
Yeah.
you never know who's gonna get into it on Lemon's panel. You never know what's gonna happen over there. And as we've always said in the beef sector, there is no protection plans. So shit, goes
I
down.
mean, I went to the Mo3 sector and there's no protection plan.
No, there really ain't none over there. They ain't shoot. They gonna get you and get you good. But yeah, there, Miss Roddy, there is water and electricity up there. I just have it cut off all for right now. So even that lie about where they said I stole the dog, if the dog had been in that house with nobody living there for more than 4 days, it would not have lived. There's no water, there's no power, it's all turned off, it's abandoned for a reason. Like, hello.
Mm. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna hold you. Like lemons is still gonna be my main spots, over there in the B sector, cause I would hit that panel because I enjoy it a lot more than
Yeah.
other panels. But I like YT cameras as well, so that's gonna be my main spots as well. So I mean, for the most part, Pizarro still got me blocked. Yes, got me blocked too. And yeah. And then I got a cool spot over here with you, Charlie. Pretty much lemons and YouTube cameras for the most part. But other than that, not really other
Well, over here,
panels.
we just chill over here. We just be talking about puppy
Mm.
dogs and we be talking about, grief sometimes, all different kinds of stuff, mental health awareness. I don't really, if you really pay attention, I don't really beef a whole lot. And I'm friends or like a lot of people who don't like each other. So
Mm.
I ain't add myself into none of those beefs. So if you see me in the chats, you know what I do. You've seen me do it 1,001 times. I go in there and I say hey to everybody. That's pretty much what I do. I don't really add to or subtract from the beef in the beefing sector. I love the way Mother says beefing sector.
Beef and salt.
Challenge. That's another thing. We ain't had no challenges recently too much. We've had a few here and there, and I think who was it? Somebody's having best dressed. Is it LG? I believe
I
it's
think
LG.
y'all had the wet t-shirt contest with Brenda. I think Brenda did a good job with that. And then think y'all had the cooking challenge or something.
Now I do
And
know
then
that I saw something. I think it was LG, if I'm not mistaken. I always because I have a problem getting LG and TG mixed up because the names are so similar. Um,
mm,
not because I'm mixing up the twins, and all that. It's just because the names are so similar. Sometimes when I'm looking and I'm reading and I'm trying to remember, I accidentally mix that up. But they're supposed to be doing some kind of yeah, LG. It's the 70s challenge coming up. That's what I was talking about. Thank you, L Blue. And that's why I said so. I think it's LG if I'm not mistaken. But she's supposed to be doing that 70s challenge where you come up best dressed in your 70s attire and I think Mother's supposed to be a judge. I saw some other people on the banner thing that she had, and I guess that's going to be pretty cool. We'll see how that works out because you know what happens when we have challenges.
yeah.
There'll be
I
some
mean
drama that go down.
I think y'all had one challenge with Lady Nika and Pizarro being the judge or something like that. And one of the participants was like, "Oh, so you picked the other person, but you didn't like me, so you boot me off quickly," or something like that. I think something like that was going down.
Yeah, well, you know how I've seen very few of the challenges that didn't have a lot of drama involved after the fact or during the fact or something like that. I will say not last year, but year before last when VS did her Halloween challenge, we really didn't have a lot of drama during that challenge whatsoever and really didn't have a lot of like bad things that went down. It was actually pretty chill. I had fun with everybody up there. I was just participating for fun. In fact, I think Miss Bizarro had that one singing challenge. We really didn't have a lot of, crazy mess from happening from that one. There's a few of them, very few that I can name that you don't see a lot of crazy mess happening during or after, but there are some. But it is what it is with the challenges, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you never know with the challenges. Oh, somebody, there was some Moneygate issues with Brianna, I think. People saying Brianna's robbing her subscribers and stuff like that, and then the Moneygate. You remember that?
I do I think that was around the time I was on vacation about a month ago for like 2 weeks, and I came back and I swear to God, it felt like I missed 3 years, and I was trying to catch up on everything, and what I saw during that time was more so like I saw that Jay Dunn and Ness made up, then Jay Dunn and Ness fell out, and then there was people making up all over left and right. I saw DMSO was having at the time because Lemon wasn't doing his night show because of what Shakim had did to him, where
Mm,
Shakim's been trying to. And here's the thing, I'm gonna say this: Shakim's been trying to play the strike game, and whatever he's doing, he can lose whatever he's using to do the strikes with, because false striking is against terms of service. But
well, Lemon calls him Little Dirt Dirt or Tiny Elvis, so I'm just gonna
tiny bed
say
bug.
like, yeah, Tiny Bed, Tiny Bed Bug. Tiny Bed Bug says he has a team of people that's doing it, but I don't know if it's him or he says he got a team or something.
Well, see, it was kind of strange. It was just hitting Lemon at first. I remember seeing that, and then all of a sudden Jay Dunn had actually been doing nothing at the time. She was just doing her regular content. Hell, we were playing mostly spade games over. She wasn't really bothering nobody. She hadn't even been up on nobody's panel. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit. And all of a sudden, she got hit. And Shakim's like, it wasn't me. Yeah, because at the time her and
Yeah,
them was
we
cool.
know,
He was
we
like, it
know.
wasn't me. It was crazy. I'm like, no. Now, I will say somebody's been trying to hit my F around and find out Fridays, but I hate to tell him it didn't win. And only thing that happened was the video got age restricted. That's it. I
Mm,
have had somebody been trying to hit me on the days that I've been talking about a specific person, and we all know who that person is. Somebody been trying to hit those specific videos, and the only thing it did was age restrict one of them, and that was it. That's what happened. I don't know who called themselves doing that, but it just age restricted is all. Because I make sure I stay within guidelines. But yeah, so I the thing about I will say, like, where I make um my videos and my backgrounds and all my things, I do it through Canva, so I can absolutely show where mine came from, and anybody else who pays somebody else for it can absolutely show where they got it from. You know what I'm saying? And all you have to do is show that proof and show it's a falsity. I told Lemon, in my opinion, when that happened, I did tell him this behind the scenes, and I'll say it in front of the scenes. I said it in his chat. I'll say it everywhere. You know me. When I do something, I stand. I told him he needs to contact YouTube directly through Twitter and actually talk to a real person, because they're trying to use the copyright system to dox, bully, and harass, and that is
oh
against
wow.
TOS. And so I told him, all you have to do at that point is contact YouTube directly, get to a real person, and that's the best way to talk to them is through Twitter. A lot of people don't know this. I'm going to give this out there for people who need to know this. If you ever need to contact YouTube directly, you're not going to do it with the automated service, right? The automated service is just automated. It's true. You can make it go up to a real person, but the best way to do it is to go over to Twitter and talk to them personally. At Team YouTube. That's all you have to do is at Team YouTube. Have them directly contact you, explain the situation so you can talk to a real person and they can get on the ball about things. Now, you can't DM them from there first. You have to ask them to reach out to you.
Mm,
You have to add them on Twitter and ask them to reach out to you that you have a situation that's happening and you need to talk to a person directly. You know what I'm saying?
Man, YouTube politics, man. There's always politics and everything, man.
Oh yeah, it's like, I will say this, Happy, even though I've been in different genres. I've been over there with MobTube and a bunch of new folks, right? I've been all over the place, right? Just been visiting DramaTube everywhere, right? I've been running everywhere. Um, the same thing that happens in the beef sector happens in other sectors. The same stuff you see here, you see there. If you get what I mean. Like it's the doxing, all this other stuff. Yeah, the only
Well,
thing I
I
will
seen it
say,
in mostly with Judge Fifi. She be doxing kids, houses, properties, the family members. It's like, oh, that's why your kid got autism and he can't speak right or something like that. Or, you know, yeah, all that.
well, the person who just did that to me tried to claim that my child was inbred and all this other shit, and then threatened me and my child. Yeah. So there are people like that out there. You know what I mean? There are those people that'll do some shit like that and run around with false narratives and fakes.
And then they'll call CPS on you and your child, or like stalk your kid, or yeah.
I myself, and I said this earlier, is that I believe that kids should be off limits completely. I think family members should be off limits completely, and I think it should be, if you have a beef with someone, you should keep it on you and that person, right? Let's say me and you were fighting YouTube life, right? And we were beefing. I would keep it directly on you. I wouldn't bother your mother, your father, your cousin, your brother, anybody in your family, right? Because it ain't got nothing to do with them. They're innocent. They had nothing to do with me and you having words. You know what I'm
So would
saying?
you would you leave the job out of it too?
I'm not going to bother anybody's offline. I don't get I don't go offline with things. I think that it should just be you and that person beefing, talking all the smack you want to talk about each other. Even, some people are for and some people are against live roasting. It is what it is when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? But when you actually,
Yeah, I like the old school 101. It's like, oh, that's why you, Charlie, got embarrassed on a panel and you couldn't hold it together, or that's why you can't act right, and yeah, that's
yeah,
the
stuff like that, like going back and forth, and like if you call me big, if I call you big head, you call me fat, so on and so forth. Like we sitting there talking all kind of smack about each other, but taking it offline to me is too far and it's stupid, and
yeah.
that just shows to me that you can't handle the words that are coming out of somebody's mouth and you're weak. Like,
It's like you be dragging somebody, right? You be roasting somebody, and the person can't take it. So what they do? Oh well, that's why. That's why we found out that you work at Food Lion, and you're like, okay, well, I gotta leave this panel because the person cannot handle it, and they're gonna resort to anything.
well, I will say, legally, these people who are doing this stuff can face legal repercussions if, in case, let's say Happy Life, right, or YouTube Life. It's going to take me a minute. I'm getting used to it. Let's say that somebody, you're in a beef with someone, right? If they bring out your real full name, if they bring out your address or any personal information, private information, you can absolutely take out charges against them criminally. That's what a lot of people don't know. It's not just YouTube law. Now, I will say in the same sense, there is public information that they could share about you. If you yourself put your name out there, right? And they find court
Well,
documentation.
thank God I changed that whole thing like you told me to, so now they wouldn't know.
That is a good thing. Let's say I know you had a record, a criminal record, and I show your criminal record, but I mark out like addresses and name. That I could show. I could show. And if you yourself put out your own name, let's say you went by your real name on here, right? And I'm not going to say anything, obviously, but let's say your real name is YouTube Life, and that's your real name, and you went by it, and it showed that YouTube Life had a criminal record or had such and such information, you can show that because that's the Freedom of Information Act. That's public record, right? Or if you had a divorce or a marriage, that's public record. You can find public records and show those. You can't
Oh,
show
that's why you got
private.
divorced, Charlie, and this and that because it's there. But the addresses and stuff is like, all right, now we're going to the wrong territory.
And if, let's say, they start calling your family members or you with your cell phone number or trying to
Yeah.
put that out there, that's also a criminal charge because then that shows harassment
Yeah.
and stalking at that point, and you can take out criminal charges. And if it has to deal with an underage child or a protected class, it is a felony.
Damn.
So that's why me, myself, and I not only try to stay within YouTube guidelines, but I try to also stay within the law and make sure that I do things legally. You get what I'm saying? Because, like, let's say I wanted to expose somebody on here that I know is a pedo. They actually have charges, real charges. I can show, like, the information from that, but I can't then show like where they live or things
Right,
like
right.
that.
You can't do
Yeah.
that. Mm-mm.
No, I could just show you the criminal record. So you just have to make sure when you do things like that that you stay within the letter of the law, because there is a such thing as educating the public, right, about a bad person, and you as a YouTuber are kind of like a press kind of thing in a way. And so you're allowed to do that. You're just not allowed to do like doxing, bullying, harassment, and things like that. So you have to know what's too far and what's like, you have to, make sure you stay within the letter of the law. And if you do say something, make sure you have the proof to back it up. Like, here's the thing. There was a rumor going around that I put the pedo word on somebody's back. I have never done that. They obviously didn't watch my show and obviously just wanted to put out false rumors, right? I have
Yeah.
never said anybody on here was that without, and I've always said I need definite proof. Like, I want to see it in black and white. I don't want
Right.
he say, she say. I'm never going to say that about someone. It's just like, now, have I made fun of folks and said they look like some inbred motherfuckers? They look like skills have
Motherfuckers.
eyes, motherfuckers. Yes, I have said that. Did I insinuate that they might be inbred? Yeah, I've insinuated, but that don't mean that I absolutely said that without a definite fact. No, I said they look like there's a difference. I've never said anybody had done anything to anybody, nothing like that. You just gotta, it's all about not how you, or it's not about sometimes what you say, it's how you say it.
Right.
But I am going to get off here in a minute and I'm going to play me a video game for the rest of the day. And I'm going to try to catch up on some of this YouTube drama that I've been missing because it's been a lot.
So what video game are you playing?
I have recently been playing 7 Days to Die, but also I play Minecraft. I play Resident Evil. Far Cry. Deep Rock Galactica.
My favorite games are Hitman World Assassins with Agent 47.
Oh, I played Hitman before. I played that back
Yeah.
on the PS2. That was one of my games on the PS2 that I like to play.
Yeah, they got Hitman World Assassins for the Xbox One, Xbox Series S, and X. They got it on PS5, and then you got Hitman.
Now my husband's got the newest Xbox, but I have an Xbox One and I have my PC. So I play through PC mostly, and then I do have the Xbox. He plays on the Xbox, the new S one, and then my son has a PlayStation 4, and he has his gaming PC now. He got for Christmas. So
Oh wow!
yeah, he got him one of them badass gaming PCs that's like, those bitches cost over shit. You don't want to know.
Yeah, well, if you got like a $800 gaming PC to $1,000, yeah, you got a badass PC, and more than likely you're gonna get best
It
quality of
costed
game.
just for the tower, just for the tower was over 1,000 or
Oh
close to it.
God. Wow.
Yeah, and then you got to count in. You got to buy the monitors. Now it did come with a keyboard and a mouse, because we got that, but it didn't come with. You have to buy your own monitor, and we ended up getting him a gaming chair on top of that. So his Christmas this year was a little bit almost trying to break a bitch, but uh
Broke a bit. He broke the whole thing.
but he can also use that for his schooling. He can also use that for you know, different things, and it's going to last him for a while because you know, with his gaming PC I can upgrade it and shit like that. So it may
I
have been a
mean,
little
good
chunk.
grief, don't go all in on that and then you behind on rent or something.
No, we don't. No, I'd never do that. I'd never put myself in that position. No, everything's good in that sense. It's just he had one amazing birthday and Christmas this year. We actually, because that was so expensive, that was birthday and Christmas together.
Okay, so you're like, okay, well, look, it's one or the other. Because if we're gonna get you something for your birthday and you really want it, we're just gonna do it for Christmas and your birthday. So there you go, $1,000 PC. So we won't have to do it this Christmas.
Well, if you think about it, also, it also helps. He can do his schooling on it and everything else. So not only does
Uh,
it do gaming, it does everything like else that it needs to do to function. So, you know, it was an investment in his future, pretty much. On top of
Oh,
that, so
okay. In that case, I can see it.
he can go to college on there and all that other good shit because that PC will do everything you want it to do and then some. So and it'll last for quite a few years before it needs to be updated. Um,
Oh hell,
it
you can homeschool him on the PC, right?
mhm.
So he doesn't even have to go to school at all.
Well, he's been homeschooled because of his CP. He has mild CP, mild cerebral palsy. His is all physical, not mental.
Um,
So he had surgery when he was like 8 or 10 years old. I have to go back and look at the time frame. I think it was back in 2017. So it was a long time ago, right? And he only now has a slight limp on one side. But you know, he had to learn to rewalk again, all that stuff. So because of him having so many doctor's visits and things having to go to, he would have missed so much school that he would have failed out. So, you know, I taught him at home, and I'll tell you something. He done surpassed me so much so that he talks about quantum physics. This child is beyond his years.
oh,
He's been reading on a collegiate level since he was like 7 or 8 years old. One of the
oh
first
wow.
books that he wanted was the Call of Cthulhu and the Mythos. That was when he was 11 or 12. I got him all those. What is the name of that dude who writes that? I forgot his name. The dude who wrote the stuff. What is his name? What is his name? Lovecraft. Has the entire Lovecraftian like all of his books and shit, and has been reading that since he was like 11, like college books since he was a kid. He started reading technically when he was 4 years old. And I don't mean like baby children's books. I mean like chapter books.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's been reading on a collegiate level since he was really young, so he's extremely brilliant and beyond his years, way beyond.
Wow.
Smart as too smart sometimes. Uh I told him, I said, what else am I gonna teach you? You know it all. How the hell am I gonna teach you anymore? I'm
I
like,
mean, next thing you know, all you need to do is give him his own place, let him write a book, and then just he makes a ton of money, and that's his life, I guess.
Well, there's he was talking about being a physicist, and that may be what he goes to college for.
A nuclear physicist?
Yeah, he was thinking about that, or there was another thing that he was talking about. I forgot. It was somewhere around those same lines. And then he was also talking about he also does love like you know, like where they make the knives and stuff on that show. Made of Steel or something like that. I forgot the name of that show. But he was talking about that, and I don't know, he's just too smart for his own good. So I think he might go into becoming a physicist of some kind. He was talking about stuff like that. So yeah, he's entirely too fucking smart. He kind of wants to be like Albert Einstein.
He could though.
You never know. You never know. Might end up doing that one day. But I am fisting to get off here. I'm gonna go play my games. I hope you are everybody has the best day possible. Thank you, Happy Life, for being here today and chilling with us.
And remember, the next time you ask me, I'm gonna say to you, YouTube cameras is my main spot, my number one spot. And then I got Lemons and Very Carey. And I'm gonna say I don't know that much, but that.
All right. And I'm gonna try to remember YouTube Live instead of saying Happy Life.
Yeah, I'm retiring with this name. So I'm gonna work on that.
Oh, hey, Tainted Docket Love. Good morning. I'm fixing to get off here in a minute, and I'm gonna go play me some video games. I'm gonna go take me a good shower. I'm gonna go eat some good food later, and we're gonna have some fun and just have a good day, everybody. And I want to send y'all all the love in the world. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Anybody who hits the Cash App, became a member, just being here chilling with me, all those lovely, nice things. Thank you, YouTube Life, for coming up, and I hope you have a good day. Don't get no drama, damn it. No, I'm just kidding, because I know how it be. I want to thank everybody for every single thing, just being here chilling. Like, I'm thankful for everything. I'm thankful for it all. And I'm glad that we had our Jesus moment this morning. And I just want to say, I hope all my beautiful angels have a blessed and beautiful day. I will see y'all later on these streets. Let's see what's about to go down, y'all. Bye. Huggies.
I'm from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the TUPELO. I'm ripping my hood to the day that I go.
I'm from the west side, we don't need no introduction. This was the best ride. We all big boy rolling and holding. Come take a test drive. Hilldale, Evergreen, Glenkirk, Outer Street, bending every corner on the west, and that's where I'll be. Sunroof back, checking seat banging down 1800, chunking up the deuce to my post slanging down on 1800. Show no love to the ladies that's training around on 1800, making time stand still. Crystalline swinging down 1800, watching out for them knuckleheads that be stanging around on 1800. Big rims and low pros be blanging around on 1800. Better completely change the way you're thinking about around 1800. Really hate to see you boys get left slanking around 1800. Out of street got some history, just let Captain C lay it out. If I don't finish it all on this one, let the second verse break it out. Remember the blue were promising OG standing back there by 60 deep. Bull walking, Charles Blue, a big Anthony using P.
I'm from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my